Hello friends, you're with the Lonesome Gamer, and I'm playing Darkest Night. And I'm not sure about that, but it might actually be my last video of the game, because until now it looks really good. But this might change. It depends all on the wizard, this guy here. How will he handle the trials? Because this is what gives us now clues. As an action, the guy can draw events, and for each event he draws and he resolves, he gets a clue. But as soon as he loses grace or stealth, or if he leaves the location, then this card goes away. Now I wonder if, for example, more people than one could do an action. And I think that is actually possible. Let me see if there are additional information back here. I'm not so sure about that. Maybe not. Using this card only costs one action, no matter how many event cards you end up drawing. It's not sure. I mean, maybe more than one people can do it. Let's assume he does it, and at some point he doesn't feel that good anymore because he burned all his sparks or whatever. Maybe then we can simply stop and another person can do the action. That might be. And then I wonder what leave the location actually means, you know, because this card kind of addresses the person who does the trials, right? So when he doesn't do it anymore, does it still affect the card? I assume it does. It's a little bit tricky here. But I assume more than one people can actually do it. And if one of them who did an action leaves the location, then this card is discarded. But I guess I tried to do with the wizard alone. But we'll see. Maybe we need more than one person here. Okay. Anyway, other issues are mainly that in the forest there are 4 blights, in the swamps are also 4 blights. We also have 3 blights in the village. So if this doesn't work out and we need more clues, things can still get tricky. Especially also because this one up here, if this expires, which will happen pretty soon, and 2 turns actually, then all heroes lose 2 stealth. That's definitely also kind of a problem. So we better make this work. Okay, I think I want to start with the Valkyrie here. I wonder if I mean, I could use the Ghost Mail, spend a grace to get a stealth. Hard to tell. I don't think I want to do that. Okay. So, well, I mean, we start here in the village with the wizard. That means we're going to lose a stealth anyway. That kind of sucks. Maybe we should do it. Okay, I guess I will. I'm gonna use the ghost mail, and so we give it to her. Spend a grace, get a stealth, and then draw an event. Now that is a test of faith. Does that make sense? You know what? Actually, I wanted to move the scout first. That's important. I messed that up. The reason is... No, wait a minute. It was the other way around. I think it was like this, right? Yeah. The reason why I want to do that is because I want that free action that the Trailblazer card gives the other characters then. So I'm going to start with the scout. And but still I want to give the ghost mare to her. And then she's gonna use the ghost mail anyway. Bring this just like that. Then she will draw a card here. So it is a test of faith, and we don't know what. Yeah, okay. It says it's a bad situation, but you know what you must do. Okay, compared to stealth, well, we only have a stealth of 2. Exhaust all but one of your powers, gain a spark. Okay, that's not that great, but on the other hand, it's also not that terrible because we got that explore card. So basically, we're gonna exhaust all of them except that one, and then I'm gonna use it right away. And it says travel, then refresh all of your powers. So I can move in here, gain a stealth, and then I can refresh all the powers. So in the end, that wasn't too bad for me. Okay, cool. Did she lose a stealth because she started with the wizard? I don't know that. I think she did. Okay, now it's the Valkyrie. And wait a minute, I think she was like this. And now I'm going to spend 1 here and gain 1 stealth. That's what my plan was. And I got to draw an event card. Now that is a horde, okay? Compared to stealth, well, we have a stealth of 3 here, so it's still a large horde. My way, it says here, the recent bloodshed has swollen the ranks of the dead with lesser spawn. So we could either elude for 4 or fight for 5. That's not so great. The rousing melody is not active yet. That's a shame. So I guess I gotta fight. And I'm gonna use the skewer. And I'm gonna throw in a spark. Yeah. Kind of sucks, but damn, that's really a shame. Let's do it. And I didn't do it. That's a shame. It was a waste of a spark here. So that means I'm gonna die and I have to spend a grace. Okay, well then I'm allowed to have an action, and as an action I want fight the skeletons here. So I'm going to again use the tactics. And this time I made it. We got a 5 here. So that means this thing is resolved. The skeletal patrols. And I'm going to get a treasure chest as a reward. So, I think I want to keep that chest and draw from the deck right away. Ambitious Spirit. Bonus. All heroes may spend grace as sparks. Okay. That's it's a little questionable at that point. But okay. That's we don't have that much grace anymore, but we will see. It's that's really a tricky one. I mean, she usually has a lot of grace, right? But she also managed to bring it down quite a bit. Okay, so that means now, yeah, as a free action, because of the Trailblazer ability here, any hero in an adjacent location may travel to your location as a free action during the action step of their turn. So that means now I'm allowed to move here. And actually, I forgot about that. The scout and her, they have to fight the lick. So we got to do that. First the scout. Yeah. She isn't terribly good in fighting, so it seems like she has to simply roll a die and hope for the best. And look at that, she did it. Awesome. And then the Valkyrie, she got 2 dice. And she didn't manage to do it. That means she probably loses again grace, right? That is the case indeed. Not that great. Okay, and then it's it's this guy here, the Bard. Okay, so he will, of course, also draw. First he loses stealth, because he starts with a wizard. And then he draws an event. That's Twilight. Compared to darkness, the world darkens imperceptibly day by day. So we have a darkness of 0 to 14. Exhaust a power or lose one's stealth. Well, that's not that bad. I think I'm going to exhaust this power here. Or what do I want to lose a stealth? I mean, it might be helpful to have that in case the trials don't work out the way I hope. So yeah, I think I'm going to lose a stealth here. Then I'm going to move as a free action down here, which brings me back as stealth. And then I'm going to activate the rousing melody. Okay. Oh, actually we have here marker, which allows now every hero to use tactics of other heroes. And finally I'm going to attack the lick. Hope that works out. So to do that, I need a 5. Now, I mean, I think I'm going to use the skewer tactics here. Roll 2 dice, and maybe I can do it. I didn't. Shit, that was bad luck. But okay, okay. And now it's the wizard, and he's now gonna fight. First he's got to draw his standard event, right? So let's see what that is. A vile messenger. The necromancer keeps his servants busy. Okay, so if he fights that guy, well, he has to fight him. He cannot elude or something. So he's going to fight him with 2 dice, I guess, using the skewer tactics. And he did it. So nothing happens here. And now, as an action, I'm going to start the trials. And I have 4 clues, so I have to work through 6 cards to get my full 10 clues. Let's hope for the best. Okay, so first of all, it's an evil day. That sounds pretty bad. Something has stirred the dead to frenzy. Exhaust the power or draw 2 more events. Of course I'm going to exhaust the power. Not sure which one that's going to be though. It's this one here, I guess. Okay, so that gives me my first clue. Let's continue. A horde. Okay. Compared to stealth, the recent bloodshed has swollen the ranks of the dead with lesser spawn. I got a stealth of 5, so it's a small horde. We could try to elude, for example. And I'm going to use the trickery of this guy. So we got 3 dice, yeah, and we need 1 4 because we got to subtract 1. So let's do that. And there it is, our 4. So that gives us another clue token. It's really looking good. Until now. Let's continue. That is a demon. Stench of sulfur and a fiery glow tell you immediately what manner of fiend you are facing. So my stealth is a 5, so it's a fearful demon. So again we need 3 successes. We need a 4 to successfully destroy him. And I'm going to use again the trickery with my 3 dice here. Yes. And I did that as well. Very good. That's another clue token. Awesome. And the wizard continues, and until now, he's still in a fantastic shape. Okay, we got the grim tidings. She delivers the news with somber face. Draw a quest and roll 1 die to determine its location. No problem for me. So, well, we see black smoke. Thick dark fumes are creeping out of the hills. Sneak in and find their source before this mysterious project is complete. Well, okay, I mean, it will take 5 turns till this gets completed. If we manage to do it, we find an artifact, which would be awesome. So we have to elude versus 5. You know, sneaking through there. And we only need a single success. So let's see where this shows up. That's a 2. And it's here. Awesome. That is actually in here. And that might be an easy artifact for us. Very good. So let's continue. That was actually, I think this is another clue token. We started with 4, and let's check that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we're good. So let's continue this thing. Oh, that's panic. Help. He tells the story quickly and out of order. Add a time marker to a quest currently in play. Okay, we can choose the quest, I guess. It says to a quest. So that means we're going to add it here. There's still more than enough time. And that gives me another clue token. So we're nearly there. And we still have everything available. Time for heroes. Now that looks good. The world is at a tipping point. It is indeed. More can happen in this hour than in a year of calm. That's a really good event. You know, it's the last one to find finally the relic, and it says a time for heroes. That's what we want. Gain a spark. Add a time marker to a quest currently in play. Fabulous. So, we will gain a spark, which we cannot have because there are already 3. And we got to add another time marker. Okay, that means now we do have 10 clues. And we don't need any more. It's simply not necessary, right? If we want to go for the strategy to triple our clues, to come with 30 clues, right? Then 10 is just fine, because then we only need this thing. And we don't need any more. If we want, because we won't make, you know, I mean, we could keep on drawing. Maybe it would be fun. Maybe we can draw 30 clues or something. But it's something I don't want to do, right? It doesn't make a lot of sense anyway. And so therefore, we're good, you know. We managed to basically to get the number of clues we needed here. And we are still in a fantastic shape. So basically all we got to do now is we will have to I'm pretty sure that the guy will come toward us. We're done now with our turn. I mean, the game is of course not over yet, but it's pretty much at that point. And now we're going to roll for the necromancer, and I think he probably will come now toward us, but it's not sure, you know. He's not, I mean, we're not that bad. It's a 6. He sees every one of us, and that means he comes right here, which is definitely not a good idea, because we're going to kill the guy. Okay, so let's see. He's going to create a blight, of course. And that is a shroud. That's not good. That's not a good thing, because a shroud protects the other blights, but honestly in the end it doesn't really matter. We got to kill them all anyway. Okay, by the way, I will have to fight the Lich with him. So that means I could also elude. Yeah, I think I don't want to fight him. I want to elude this guy. So that means I can roll 3 dice. If I have a 6, I'm lucky. Wait a minute. What is this? The vanishing dusk. Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. So we're going to try that. I didn't do it, but I'm going to discard the vanishing dust, and in this way I'm also able to elude, because it's an automatic success after a roll. Cool. Okay, now let's see, can we make that our last turn here? It might be possible, but I'm not sure about it. We're gonna find out, I guess. Okay, so let's see. I think we are doing really well here. First we got to draw a card, of course. I think I want to start... does it matter a lot? I think I'm going to start with the... maybe I want to start with the... come on, what's her name? The scout. Is this something... I wonder... You know what? I think we might actually... Do you want to use the ghost mail? No, well, first of all, I'm going to lose one stealth. Simply because I start with the wizard, and then I'm going to draw a card. It says Jinx. That's not good. Your bag rips. A branch catches your belt. The horse loses its shoe. Something is wrong. Spend 1 grace, or turn all dice you roll into ones and ignore rerolls for the rest of the turn. That would be a disaster for this guy. You know, that would be one of these things. That would have destroyed the trials. But luckily we stopped earlier. Okay, or we managed to get everything, but that was really close, you know. And we would have gotten this card, and it was just the next card. So you see how lucky we actually were. You know, there was nothing we could have done against that, and we would have simply, we would have lost grace or rolled only once. So basically, I mean, we could have tried it, and maybe then with the vanishing dust, we could have tried to continue, but the situation would have been much, much worse, of course. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm gonna spend a grace here, because I want to kill one of the blights. I want to kill the shroud, and I'm going to use the tactic here, the death from above. I can do that because of the rousing melody. So I'm going to use 3 dice. And I need a 5. By the way, I forgot to put that, and I also forgot to place additional time markers during the necromancer's turn. So we got 3 dice, and we want to get rid of the shroud. Come on. Okay, that is a 5 here, so that is good enough. And there goes the shroud. Very good. That means this thing becomes active. Okay, so who's next? Well, before I gotta fight a lick here, and you know, I could use the speed to I only have a single die here. I see the point. You know what? I think I'm actually gonna again use the death from above to fight against the lick, 3 dice. And again I did it, so no damage, but of course I lose a stealth. Oh, by the way, you might ask, hey, why don't you just attack the wizard and we're done? Well, it's not that simple. For every hit the wizard takes, he will sacrifice a blight in the area. So as long as there are still blights in the area, you cannot kill the wizard, right? So first we got to kill the blights, and then we can kill the wizard. That's an important factor here. By the way, of course we also need the relic, so that means we'll probably not be able to finish him off, because everyone has to kill. Yeah, we're not going to do it. But okay, anyway, we can still do it next turn then. I think we're still good. I'm gonna use now the Valkyrie's action, and yeah, by the way, I forgot to, when I attack the blight, I would have lost another stealth, so I forgot that, so I have to actually reduce this as stealth by 1 more. Okay, it's a cultist for the Valkyrie here. The weaker things shy away from him. This one's important. So, if we attack him, darkness would go back. Yeah, it's not that important for me. So I might as well elude him, and I think I want to do that. So we can use the trickery to elude with 3 dice. And we managed to do that. So that's good enough for me. And then I want to attack the lick. And I think the first stealth I've lost because I started with the wizard. I don't know if I did it, but I think then I'm gonna lose another stealth because I will attack the lick, and I'm gonna use the death from above to do that, so I will lose another stealth, so I'm there at 0. And I was successful here, so that means the lick goes away. That's pretty cool. And that means I get again a blight. Very good. Of course it's not a blight, it's a spark. For some reason, they sound in a way light and blight, spark, or whatever. Okay, then it's the bard, and I think I actually want to play now with the wizard. Yeah, I think I want to do that. I want to play now with the wizard. Draw an event here. Well, actually, it doesn't really matter. Do I want to use the wizard, or do I want to use the bard? Let's use the bard. Yeah, it's probably not that important. So that is a vile beast. By the way, he's going to lose 1 stealth. Is this what the necromancer has wrought? Such an abomination was not meant to exist. Okay, so we could either try to elude, or we could try to fight it. I'm feeling like I wanna elude, so I'm gonna roll 3 dice. Use my trickery, and I did it. I got a 5 here, so that's good enough to elude successfully, and that means I will gain a spark. which is really good. Okay, now we gotta destroy that last blight. And the way I want to do that is I'm gonna spend, of course, because I attack, I'm gonna spend that. Maybe it makes more sense. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm simply gonna get the relic. That's what I'm gonna do. So, that makes sense? Yeah, I think it does. I'm gonna get the relic. So I'm gonna spend 10 clues. Whoops, there we go. And then I retrieve the relic. And I can flip this thing, and you can see it looks pretty awesome. Well, it looks okay. And now I carry the relic. So that means, no, I'm not gonna do that. Actually, no, wait a minute. The other guy will do that. The thing is, I'm gonna attack. So probably doesn't make a big difference, but I want to attack here. So I'm gonna use the tactics of the wizard here. Exhaust to fight with 5 dice. Okay, cool. So that gives me 5 dice. And that should be good enough to destroy the taint. Hope so. Do I want to throw in the spark? Well, no. Let's see. And I did that. We got a 5 here. Well, that's close, but I did it. So that means the taint is also destroyed. Problem is though, damn, it wasn't even necessary to do that. Because of the dying land, he's gonna create two new blights there. That sucks. That sucks. That's a problem. No, I'm not going to do it. Sorry, folks, I'm not going to do it. It makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. I'm going to leave the taint where it is, because otherwise 2 new sparks will come. First of all, we don't know what they give us. Might be even more ugly. And second of all, you know, I don't want to waste the fiend fire. So that means, what is it I want to do with this guy? Well, I still got that in my stealth. I think I'm going to retrieve the relic. Simply take it, and that's it. Okay. Yeah. I guess that's what I want to do. And then, and she already did the action too. Do I want to trade the relic with him? Why not? Let's do that. I'm going to give him the relic. I can now it's his turn. He's going to lose a stealth because he starts with the wizard. And then he's going to draw an event card. And that is a Dark Tempest. Roll 3 dice, then pick and resolve any 2. That's not good. Okay, you know what? I want to spend a spark just to be sure that things don't go too wrong. So then that means I got 4 dice. Okay, we got twice a 5, we got a 1, and we got a 2. That's not great. Okay, a 1 is +1 darkness. We definitely can live with that. A 2 is a dead. And a 5 is exhaust of power. I think I want to die. There we go. Okay. Not a good card. Okay. And now I want to try to deal with this here, the black smoke. Okay, it's we got to do an elude versus 5. That's not so easy. I could use the speed though, and I think I want to do that. I'm going to use her speed, elude with 1 die, and add 1 to your highest die. Yeah, I think I want to do that. So I'm going to spend another spark, which gives me 2 dice. And we'll see what happens. That's a 5, so we are successful here. Very good. So that means, oops. And we don't want this Enigma Blight here. But now I discovered what kind of construct is there in the hills, and that means now I'm allowed to draw an artifact, and that might be helpful for our final battle. Let's see what that is. It's Blinking Boots. Cool. You may ignore the effects of these blights. Okay, I mean, this is obviously absolutely insane, this artifact. It doesn't help us now terribly, but you know, I mean, during the game, this is absolutely crazy. There is no doubt about that. Some of these things are totally awesome, and this is one of them. Okay, then it is the wizard again. It was his turn. So darkness goes up 1 space. This blight here now expires. Seems like all the children were eaten by this guy, and all heroes lose 2 stealth. Because, yeah, we definitely don't have the sympathy of the townsfolk, so they now all tell the wizard, it's there, here they are. But by now he sees us anyway. Okay, so how bad is that? Well, the thing is, it's actually not that bad, because first of all, we want the wizard here, right? We don't want him to go away. So therefore, it's just fine. And losing more stealth doesn't hurt us. The only problem is now that, you will see now, there is something special going on now. Just have to do it the right way. First increase darkness, then the quest. Okay, that means now he does the movement. Well, obviously he will stay where he is. And we're gonna draw a blight, and that is a nexus. Okay, let's see what that does. We haven't seen that. That protects far blights, and it's extremely easy to kill. Very good. So basically, as long as this thing sits here, no blight anywhere else on the map can be destroyed. Okay, but yeah, in this case, we're fine with that. Okay, so let's see what happens now. Well, we want to, maybe if we're good now, we can destroy all the blights and kill the necromancer. It shouldn't be too hard. First of all, I want to start with a bard. Do I? Nah, not even sure about that, to be honest. Maybe not, because for some reason he gets teleported away or so. We cannot use the rousing melody anymore. Therefore, maybe that's not the best option. let's do that carefully. I want to use... maybe her. Yeah, she's in a pretty good shape. I think I want to use her. So, yeah, that's our good old Valkyrie. So she has... First, she would lose now because she's with the wizard in the same space. Well, she cannot lose anymore because she's already at 0. If you cannot lose anymore, that's not a big deal. You just don't lose it, okay? Problem is, though, the wizard will now attack her because he sees her. And he's got a combat value of 7, so he will defeat her. She could take the relic, but if she uses the relic, then she's stuck with the relic, which means no one else can use it anymore. Only she could. And I think I want him to do it. In the end, it doesn't really make a difference because of the rousing melody. You know, everybody can use basically the things of the others, or the tactics of the others. But I think I prefer him to keep this thing. So therefore, she gets defeated by the wizard, which means she dies, but she can spend a grace to prevent that from happening. Okay, so she's pretty much done, you know. If the wizard, if we have another turn, she would be killed by the wizard, okay? But let's hope that, I think it's not going to happen. I'm pretty optimistic here. Now, because she fought I'm always talking about the wizard. Of course, it's not this poor guy here, right? It's not our wizard. It's this ugly sucker here. It's the necromancer. Okay, his dark colleague. So, what she's going to do is now, she will attack the taint. And she going to use the death from above. The fact that there is no stealth anymore, and it says here lose 1 unless you deactivated Sprout Wings earlier this turn, doesn't matter. She loses stealth, but hey, that's okay. If she can't lose it, it's okay. As long as there is not written spend 1 stealth, then she could not use it. But as long as she loses it, hey, it doesn't matter. And in addition to that, she's going to throw in her blight. So that gives her 4 dice against the death from against the taint. So we got to get rid of this. And she did it easily. We got here twice a 6, and over there is even a 5. Okay, so the taint goes away. And same thing, she would also, of course, lose. She would lose stealth because she attacks the blight. But yeah, there is also no effect here. Okay, so then I want her. So that was her action. Then it's her, the scout, and she also is seen by the wizard. So she also has to fight him, which means she will lose 1 grace because she doesn't want to die. And now she also wants to attack a blight, and she wants to attack here the nexus. So, do we want to go in? I mean, we could use this thing here, exhaust to fight with 5 dice. Do we want to do that? I mean, no, I don't think so. I think it's not necessary to use that. We're also going to use the Death from Above ability of the Valkyrie. And we got 3 dice, and I think it should be possible to roll a 3 with 3 dice. And we did. The other ones were 1. But we rolled a 3, so that means the nexus goes away. And by the way, because the first killed blight activates this thing, the second killed blight gives then this, the Valkyrie, another spark. So, now we're ready to attack that guy. And yeah, the wizard tries to do so. So it's his turn. First of all, he's in the same space with the wizard, or with the necromancer. That means he loses 1. Second, he holds a relic. Now, because a relic makes you even more visible, he loses another 1 at the start of his turn. That means he now has 0 stealth, and that means he gets attacked by the wizard. And here's the thing. I'm not absolutely sure if I play that right. But I think if a wizard attacks you, and you fight him and you kill him, he's also dead. I think it's something, I think you don't have to attack him. Because it's still, you know, it's a combat. It's a standard combat action. So I think even though he attacks me, and I fight him in a combat, if I win, he dies. So, yeah, I'm going to do that now. I'm going to use my Fiend Fire. Exhaust to fight with 5 dice. Okay, let's do that. Now the cool thing is that this is actually not my action. I'm kind of defending myself. So if things go wrong, I still might use my arcane energy and attack him. That's pretty cool. Okay, now here's the thing. We get a +1 on our die rolls. Not +1 die, but +1 on our die rolls from the relic. We need a 7, so basically we need a 6 here. And yeah, let's hope that we can do that. So, and we didn't. We got 3 times a 5, but it's not a 6. So we didn't beat him. But that's not a big deal. That is okay. We're still good. Okay. I could use my reroll now. I got a charm here which allows me to reroll my dice, but I can even make that better. So now I'm going to use the arcane energy. Exhaust at any time to refresh all your powers. Okay, let's do that. Well, actually, yeah, it's not that much better, but okay. Okay, I think we're good. Yeah. Okay, now I'm gonna do this again, and I'm gonna spend my spark. So now I got another 6 dice as an attack roll. And if this goes wrong, I can re-roll these suckers. So I got now 12 dice, and I need a 6, man. If this goes wrong, I'm really pissed. But I hope that isn't the case. Come on. I still didn't do it. Do you believe that? Still only got a 5. So that means now I got to spend my charm. Gosh. Unbelievable. Okay. And now, come on, don't let me down here. These are 6 dice. Okay, I rolled now 11 dice without rolling a 6. Another 6, come on. Yes, there it is. 1 fucking 6. Boy, I was lucky here, man. I rolled 3 times a 1. But I did it. I did it. I killed the guy. Thanks to my charm. There he is. The necromancer. Killed by the brave wizard. Awesome. Well, okay, let's talk a little bit about the game and what we've seen here. First of all, I think there is an issue here there is a balance issue here. It's very hard to find the right difficulty for the game for me, because it was obviously now too easy. You know, I had that feeling. I never had a real feeling that I might have lost the game. It's hard to say, but I don't think so. There is one point though. If I would not have been the magician and the decay would have been active, you know, I could nullify the decay because of the rune here. But if this thing would have been active, all this would not have worked out the way it did. We had a pretty smooth ride here. What I actually did was, and I think this is the strategy you usually want to go. You go to the castle, you try to power up your heroes there to a certain point, maybe 5 or 6 cards for each hero. Then you try to discover the mysteries, get your 10 clues, and kill the guy. That's how it usually works. Or that's how you want it to work. I think so, at least, okay? And in this case, it worked pretty well that way. You know, I could stay in the castle for, I think, 3 turns or so. Then I managed to get the first mysteries also pretty soon, also in the castle. Actually, both of these mysteries I found in the castle. The first one I could solve in the mountains. Then I fought a few blights in the village to prevent this whole thing from getting out of control, and to prevent blights from showing up in the monastery. And then in the end, I was successful with the trials, got the relic, killed the guy. That was pretty much according to my overall plan. So yeah, that was really going well. But you know, things could have gone very different if, for example, here I could not have nullified the decay. I first had to destroy this going down here. Without these power-ups of the heroes, that would have been much harder, and then I might not have had the time to go to the castle and do all that in peace. You know, this is all much... I was kind of lucky here. I was very lucky in many ways. You might also say, okay, I was lucky that the trials went so well. But I was pretty well prepared with the wizard, you know, and most of all these cool features that he could do, he didn't even need to do. So but on the other hand, if this card there, I don't know which it was, basically that more or less would have forced me to lose a grace, or be extremely weakened. If that card would have shown up earlier, well, bad luck then. And then I had to search for more clues and so on. And the thing might have been much more complicated, because, you know, there are a ton of blights in the swamp, ton of blights in the forest. So it could have been really, really dangerous then. So I was lucky there in quite some ways. On the other hand, I never had a feeling, hey, I might lose this game. I mean, the darkness is now at 14, and there were actually moments where I chose the darkness to rise. So overall, I think the game could have been more challenging, and it would have been still not too stressful, and it would have been still fun. On the other hand, if everywhere, you know, if you make it too hard, then it's just this constant fighting of blights, and you cannot really enjoy these, you know, the cooperation, these cool features that the heroes have. If you understand what I mean, these nice little, some of these cool power cards, sometimes you need a little bit of time for them, and it's if you're only fighting, it's really hard to I don't know, I just don't like that, you know. I like it to have a little bit time. It doesn't have to be that much, but to have a little bit time to explore a little bit the heroes, and maybe to do a quest or something. The quests are also something, you can nearly ignore them. I mean, the thing is, I think with the quests, most of them are not that dangerous, but they can give you a good reward. So it's probably the reason why you want to do them, is usually not that much because they are so terrible if you don't do them. But, well, actually sometimes they are. I mean, all heroes lose 2 stealth. At the wrong time, that can be pretty devastating. But on the other hand, you know, I did some of these quests because the rewards can be really pretty awesome. But yeah, as I said, I think there is a little bit of a complaint here. It's hard for me to really adjust the difficulty in a way that it's a real challenge for me, but I can still enjoy the game and it's a not completely stressful thing. Obviously, I'm not quite there yet. Maybe I should really try again with 2 blights in every starting location. I mean, as I said, you can also start this marker here a little later. Might be also interesting. Or you can let this guy draw more darkness cards. Some of them can be pretty ugly. So, yeah, I mean, I think this is not such a big deal. I think you can adjust the difficulty in a way that it becomes really challenging for you. But yeah, as I said, I'm not quite there yet. Now let's talk about the components a bit. It's also, you know, well, first of all, of course, the artwork is glorious. The artwork is absolutely fantastic. I love it. It is dark. It fits the theme extremely well, and yeah, I mean, everything here is just amazing. Even these small ones, you know, that looks just so great. You know, the zombies, or here the revenants. You know, the art is just amazing. The board looks great. Everything fantastic. This is really absolutely beautiful. And you also got everywhere these different, you know, it's not like all the cards have their own artwork, and so it's not like it's everywhere the same or so. I mean, okay, some of the event cards have a similar artwork, these here, but apart from that, it's really, really good. On the other hand, I'm not too happy with some of the markers. The blights are great. They have a good quality. The fact that they're double-sided is cool because, you know, this side looks really good. It really does. And if you flip it, you get all the information. So maybe when you start the game, you play for the first time or so, you might play with this side. But once you are a little used to them, you can play with the other side up, and then it really looks good. And this is also a good example that it's not necessary to have everywhere minis, you know, for every blight. I don't know. Yeah, here you go. You get 100 minis, and you only pay $400 for the game or something like this. This is bullshit. And so this is just a great solution that is done very well. However, if you take a look, for example, at this. Yeah, that's not so great, right? I mean, seriously, these things, yeah, they just these are pretty flimsy, and you know, I wish they had come up with something else here. Maybe some plastic pieces, like for example in Mage Knight, the mana crystals or something. They would have been very, very helpful. Even some golden cubes or something would have done the job. But this feels not too great. And also, for example, these here, these activation things, they just look very cheap. You know, they have a strange, I wish they were a little bigger, for example, and they had maybe some nice artwork on it or so. If you compare this to this, you would not really think it's from the same game, right? I mean, honestly, this is just, I don't know, it's kind of weird. And it would be okay if this was, I don't know, a 40 euro game or something like that. But this is the second edition, and I paid for that about 90 euros. And the miniatures were not included, okay? And this is a really high price game. You know, if you for a miniature game, I don't know, like Zombicide or something, you pay less than that. And here, no miniatures included, only the standard components here. Basically, it's only the cards and this stuff. And okay, you get a lot. There's no doubt about that. You get a lot, but it's only card stock basically, right? And the dice, of course, which are beautiful, by the way. I like them. But yeah, some things could have been a little more worked out, you know, especially these sparks and these markers here. I really don't like them. I mean, they are okay. These things are cool, and this is also pretty functional. That's all cool, but the other two are not that great. I also would have been fine if these sheets were maybe a little bigger or something, because the problem is that, you know, this is very, very narrow here, and if you know, if a die rolls above them or so, this very easily goes to the adjacent number, and then you can really, where was that, you know? And these markers are also very, very small. Same with these markers, you know, they could have been a little better, and I don't know, it's just not, I mean, this is really nitpicking, I know, but if I pay 90 bucks for a game without miniatures, they could have made it really, really perfect, you know, not just with a perfect art or so, but they could have done these little things, right? But okay. What about the miniatures? Well, there was a lot of complaint about the miniatures, and I agree here. You know, they are fairly small, and they're not very detailed, and they are especially pretty static, right? You know, I mean, they just stand there, maybe a stick in a hand or something, but they don't really have a lot of interesting poses going on or so. Thing is, though, if you paint them, you can make them look awesome. Like here, I mean, they just look great, and I really love them. They add a lot to the atmosphere, and I would never complain about them. However, if you don't paint them, if you're not planning to paint them, you might maybe save yourself the money here, because, yeah, it's, as I said, they don't look too great, and many of them look pretty similar. Just, you know, a guy with a sword in a hand, or some, I don't know, some spear in his hand or so, and it's not that interesting. On the other hand, they're not terribly expensive. I think they cost between 30 and 40 bucks, and you get 30 different models. So, that's something. I don't know, it's up to you, but I love it because I painted them. That makes them look great, and I'm super happy with them. Okay, let's go. Let's take a look at the gameplay. I gotta say, I love this game. It is one of my favorites. I was hooked right from the first moment I played that. And I don't know, it reminded me, I played Arkham Horror 3rd edition. I purchased both of them more or less at the same time, and I realized they are from some of their core mechanics very similar. You know, in Arkham Horror you have these threat tokens popping up, and you got to run around and try to push them back before they kind of overflow. You know, that is a little bit similar to this blight mechanic, when there are 4 and then the next one goes into the monastery and things are starting to get really critical. So this is very similar, but this is much better done in so many ways. This is a much superior game in my opinion, because, you know, it's not just what this game does. This game really tells a story, and it is so highly thematic. It's not just some kind of threat tokens, but, you know, these are real, these are monsters or a curse or some kind of other phenomenon, and it makes real sense, right? And they work often very well together. You know, this thing protects, for example, the decay, and yeah, then you got the monsters and all, and this is really cool. The interaction between the blights can be very interesting. This one, for example, which protects far away blights, and then you got, I don't know, you got something like this, where you can know tactics, which makes it even harder, for example, to destroy the shroud, which protects the other one. This is really interesting stuff, and makes a lot of sense. And it goes on like that. You know, all the mechanics here, they are very thematic. For example, the fact that you move and that you then get additional stealth, or if you attack, you lose stealth. You know, these kind of things. This is not just a gamey mechanism, but it makes a lot of sense. It is a thematic gaming mechanism, and then it's just a very, very good idea. And so in a way, this game feels to me, well, how can I say it? It feels extremely elaborated, nearly like a classic from 30 years ago or something, like one of these really fantastic games. For example, like Civilization, where the mechanisms are so smooth and so perfect. And it's a little bit here too, in my opinion at least. You know, the game is so fluent, it is so smooth. There are no fiddly mechanics. If you take Arkham Horror 3, for example, you know, the Mythos phase is ridiculous. It is totally ridiculous. What you got to do to play the AI in Arkham Horror 3 it's horrible. Here, you just move this thing one step ahead, and then you roll a die for this guy, and that's it, you know, and determine where he goes. That's basically what you do, and you got to create a blight, okay. But this, you know, that takes you maybe 30 seconds, maybe 20 to 30 seconds, that's it. In Arkham Horror, doing this stupid phase for everyone, you know, drawing these tokens, whatever, it takes you 5 minutes, one stupid Mythos phase, and it's only mechanical stuff. Here it's, you know, it's such a smooth, simple thing to do. And that's the thing, the rules are really simple, the mechanics are totally intuitive, logical, and still it's not just a dry Euro game, but it manages to tell a fantastic story, and it makes you really feel like you are in a big world. And the reason here is because, not so much because the map is so big. You only have these 7 areas, and technically they are not terribly different, except for these search value things, right? But it's the cards that make this thing big, right? I mean, we managed, for example, in a game, in average, you might probably get about maybe 2 of these valuable artifacts each game, and we got about 50 of them, okay? I mean, this is just crazy. Similar thing here, we've seen a single darkness card, okay? You will see a maximum of 2, and we got about, I don't know, 45 or something. We can continue. We've seen 2 mysteries, nearly 50. we've seen maybe 4 quests or so, maybe 5 here, I don't know, about 50. It's crazy, you know, there is so much to discover. And of course, all the different heroes. And also here, we haven't seen all the power cards of all the heroes. So you can play these guys again and again. You can come up with tons of combinations. And they really play different. It's not that, okay, this guy has, I don't know, a little bit more strength, and this guy is good in lore. And so, no. They really have a very, very different approach, very different mechanics. At least many of them are very special. And that's just amazing. It totally is. It gives you this crazy replayability, and that feeling that there is always more to explore in the game. The storytelling of the quest is cool, and you know, it's all there. I love all the flow text, all the flavor text on the cards. Just a great game, man. So it is expensive. There is no doubt about that. And by the way, the rules are also fantastic. You know, these player aids are absolutely awesome. You basically got everything you need on the player aids, and then the compendium here. So this is just really, really well done. So yeah, as I said, it's expensive, but you get a fantastic game. And solitaire and 2 players, it's great. With more, I doubt that it's that great, because you only have a single action, right? And that is also complaints of many people. Oh, the heroes have only a single action. I like that fact. I think it's pretty cool because, you know, you really have to make every action count, and decisions become often so tough, and it really has to work out. And many people complain of the luck, but there is a lot of mitigation going on. You know, you can do a lot of things to improve your odds here. So I think the luck factor isn't that bad in this game. But if you play if you play solitaire or with 2 people, you know, 1 action per hero is okay. There is not a big downtime. If you only have 1 action and then 3 other people are doing their stuff, it might be a problem. But as I said, for solo or 2-player game, this is just great. And yeah, it's expensive, but you get a lot of playing time out of it, a lot of storytelling, and you know, it really combines these clear and extremely well balanced mechanics, you know, where everything works together so great. And that is something you normally know from Euro games, you know, that there is a real beauty in the way the mechanics work together. And this is also in this game, but it combines it with a fantastic storytelling narrative aspect that you usually get out of many Ameritrash games. So this is a perfect, let's call it a hybrid, so it's just a wonderful game. Okay, leave it with that. Hope to see you in the next video or on lonesomegamer.com. Bye.